BetOnline is the world's most trusted betting platform and your number one source for everything football. BetOnline has every stat, every matchup, and even live odds and spreads to bet on during the games. Think you know your stuff? Get in on our $200,000 mega contest and pick 5 games against the spread every week for your chance at weekly prizes and a share of $200K. When the game's over, head over to our online casino for blackjack, poker, or one of our over 150 slots games. Head to the website today to get in on the action. Bet online. The game starts here.
What's up, Tiger fans? Welcome to another episode of Tiger Talk TV. I am the Corey C. Make sure you subscribe to the podcast. Subscribe to the podcast. Subscribe to the podcast so you do not miss a single upcoming episode. You can find us on the Apple Podcast app, Spotify, YouTube, wherever you get your podcast. Be sure to follow the show and tell every Tiger that you know. And remember, when you support Tiger Talk TV, it all helps the cause, which is the I love Jackson State University. All right, and it's that time. First game of the season at the Vet, first home game, and we'll be welcoming in the Lane College Dragons. We have a special guest to tell us all about this opponent. He is the Associate Athletics Director and the PA announcer. What a treat for Lane College, the Dragons, Mr. Roger Ogden. Welcome to Tiger Talk TV.
Thank you, sir. I thank you for having me on board today.
It's a pleasure having you. We're looking forward to this game. Obviously, not a lot of history between the two teams, but there are some connections here and there that we'll kind of touch on throughout. But we're excited to have you. What is the temperament? What's the mindset, the mentality with the football team, the staff, and even the fans heading into this game coming up in Jackson, Mississippi against Jackson State?
Well, it's a lot of excitement. It's a big game for us coming out of our spring game. Our players had an awesome spring game, with the nucleus that we had returning from last year and the ones that we brought in at midterm. The fans are excited. I think we're going to have a good showing there from the fan standpoint as well. So we're excited. We can't wait to get it to kickoff.
Yeah, I'm sure, because for you, this is the first game of the season, correct?
Absolutely, yes, sir.
So I'm pretty sure it's been almost torture watching 2 weeks of college football and not being able to play. We were fortunate enough to play early on a Thursday, and then some teams played in week 0. But for you, you've just been sitting back watching and waiting.
Just waiting our time. It's and it is interesting to be able to watch other teams start off in August. At the end of August, and knowing that we still have another week to prepare for our first game of the season, but yet the athletes are ready to get out there. They've been going through their conditioning and their workouts, and now it's time to get it all kicked off and get real.
Absolutely. I know the student athletes are ready to play, but I wouldn't doubt that the coaches didn't mind waiting that extra week, because guess what? They get some game film, some real game film
Absolutely.
on Jackson State. We don't have the luxury, so we don't know what to expect. So we hope that our coaching staff can figure out what to expect and then what the game plan may look like for Lane. But let's talk about the team. First of all, let's go back to last season. I know a disappointing 2-8 season. Take us back through that year and some of the struggles that plagued the team.
Yeah, last year we had there were a couple games that we were one play away from taking advantage of a turnover or a miscue or whatever, and going on and securing that victory. Potentially with some of the plays that happened throughout the year, we had some key injuries as well. But some of the plays that happened throughout the year, we could have very easily been on the other side of that disappointing year. And it's sometimes that's just the way it happens. You get a issue that maybe cost a touchdown that was called back, or something that just didn't go our way. And unfortunately, our guys played harder than the outcome showed with the record. But that puts a little fire in their belly to get ready for this year. And we did have some key issues on injuries as well.
Mm-hmm.
It took some of the starters out, which the next man up. So we were still proud of our team. They did a great job, staying together. And that's probably the theme of this year's team is resilience. Coming back from a season of disappointment like we had last year, coming back with the spring game being just awesome, and the resilience that these young men have showed, and the practice and the sweat that they put in. Coaches are preparing the best game plan that they can. So I think it's going to be a good year for us to rebound from.
Right. I talked about it being a disappointing season, but the good thing that you can take away from that is, with a lot of those games being so close and they could have gone either way, that gives the team hope, and they know that they were right there, and it's just, just get over the hump. There's just a little bit more that they need to do, a little bit more of a push that they need to make. So I know that gives them some excitement going into the season, especially against the Jackson State. Let's talk about Coach Byron Brown. He's a good friend of our coach, Coach T.C. Taylor. They actually played against one another in college, Coach Brown at Grambling, and of course, T.C. Taylor at Jackson State. What's been his general mindset and messaging to the team this offseason and head into the season?
Well, he's a great leader for our program, and he does well trying to get the kids or the student athletes motivated, get them prepared physically and mentally. He just he's disappointed in the team's outcome every time, because he always feels that we can do better and be better. And of course, that's what everybody is thinking. We can be better today than we were yesterday. And so he's a great inspiration to our program, to our student athletes. They work hard, in trying to prepare for the season. So he's got that desire to bounce back, to have an outstanding season this year. They had a really good recruit season.
Mm-hmm.
So there's going to be a nucleus of student athletes here with us for several years. We brought in a large signing class from the freshman group that's coming in. So they will be playing a crucial role in our progress over the next 2 or 3 years. We got some returners back that that has that desire to make it a historical year for us.
Mm-hmm.
So Coach Brown he's got his coaching staff together. They're working with film studies and trying to get everything in place the way they can. We had an opportunity to bring in some mid-year JUCO players that is going to be really impactful for our team. So, Coach Brown is looking forward to it. It's going to be an exciting year for the whole team.
Right. As I look over this roster, Coach Brown has a big group. We're talking about 91 players. That's a healthy number, a strong number of student athletes. And as you talked about the recruiting class, 23 new players brought in this offseason, 9 from the JUCO ranks and 14 from the high school ranks. Now, 9 of those recruits are from Mississippi. I know Mississippi is a hotbed, so you guys have kind of infringed on our territory and took some guys from right underneath us. But definitely enough talent to go around in Mississippi. Are there any new players in particular who stood out throughout the talking about the spring game and things like that as someone who could make an impact, or does it kind of still remain to be seen since you guys haven't played a game yet?
Well, I think there's going to be several impact players, including freshmen. Our quarterback is a JUCO transfer. One of our quarterbacks is Nigel Johnson. I think he's going to be an impact player. We've got a cornerback. I believe he's cornerback, or defensive back, I guess it is. And Adrian Huey, he should be a impact player as well. So we one of our impact players, I think, is a freshman coming in, a defensive back that we got out of Greenville, Florida, and Barry and Terry. He should see a lot of action this freshman season. Of course, our running back is Kylan Dewey. He's in on the HBCU watch list.
Okay.
That's out there. So, yeah, we've got some impact players. Our wide receiver, Anthony Evelyn, he was injured last year and got a medical waiver. So hopefully he'll be back as a wide receiver, kick returner. So we've got a different formation look than what sometimes we have had in the past. So I think it's going to be interesting to see how it works out for us.
Mm-hmm. You talked about a couple of the quarterbacks. Let's go a little bit deeper into that room. You mentioned Nigel Johnson, the junior college transfer. Well, I talked about you guys having a lot of recruits from Mississippi. He's from Starkville, Mississippi, and he played his JUCO ball at Holmes Community College in Mississippi, and the staff seems high on him. I also see Sky Forrest, who played at Memphis previously, Jared Gatson, and Kalen Davis, the freshman. So has a starter been named as of yet?
Well, potentially, I think the starter will be Nigel Johnson. But of course, that could be a game day decision because all four of them have been getting reps with the team during the practices. Mm-hmm. So if I had to put my guess out there, I would think Nigel would get the nod. Mm-hmm. But it could be an opportunity for others to be used as a quarterback by committee type thing.
Gotcha. And going back to the running backs, you mentioned Kylan Dewey. This is a unit that averaged 144 yards per game on the ground last season. But there's also Ike Brown, who's been the conference and national player of the week before. He appears to be back after not playing that season. Can we expect him as well?
Yes, he'll get some action in as well, especially in different formations that they've got. Sometimes they'll go, with Ike to give Kylan a breather every once in a while. So yeah, he'll be in the general mix as well.
Okay. Any other wide receivers that we can look out for, that we can expect to hear their name called? I know you mentioned one earlier, but there's also Jarquez Jones, the Norfolk State transfer as well.
Well, Jarquez actually transferred out. He was a graduate, so he transferred out. But we do have other wide receivers that should reach out this year to help us out. I haven't really noticed who the other ones are at this point. I know another Mississippi player, Vontrez Rush. Mm-hmm. I think he's going to be a big player for us as well. Mm-hmm. So yeah, there's some depth at wide receiver this year. I know we got Jeremiah Santel. He played in some games last year as a freshman. He's a tall body wide receiver, so that should be interesting to see his impact on the team this year. Right. So yeah, we're set up to have some good action from the wideouts, and we also got a couple tight ends this year that are going to be more than just a blocking tight end. They're going to be able to probably receive passes as well during some formations.
Right. I can imagine there's a lot of unanswered questions because, as I stated, you guys haven't played a game yet. So a lot of these questions will be answered starting Saturday. So you're probably waiting to see for yourself because you never know. Sometimes it's a lot different when the lights come on as opposed to practices and scrimmages and things like that.
All right. That's right. Yeah, game day, it seemed like even though you practice as if it's game day is a totally different. Game day is game day. It's time to get ready and go. And if everything goes the way it's scripted to go, then, of course, everybody would be a winner every day. But it don't always go as the way it's scripted, So, but yeah, it's always fun to get that first action, get that first down, first touchdown, whatever it is, and just kind of builds the momentum and the excitement. So and it just builds from there.
Right. Roger, one thing that stands out about Lane when I kind of look back over this team, they've had some success recently against FCS HBCUs. I know they've put up just about 90 points in their last 3 games versus FCS HBCUs, including 48 against Arkansas Pine Bluff back in 2022, and then 28 in a win, an upset win over Tennessee State that same year. But they only averaged 22.5 points per game last season. So what do you think will be some of the keys to getting the offense cranking more consistently this season?
Well, we've got to be disciplined on offense and defense. We can't afford to take a big play away by creating a penalty, that hurts us in the long run. We have to back up and try to do it again. So I think if we can stay disciplined and stay under control with our penalties, so that we don't take away from our big plays. There's going to be some big plays. Not every play is going to be a bomb for a touchdown, but there's going to be some breakaways, and there's going to be some yards after the catch, and there's going to be some good runs from our quarterbacks and running backs that'll keep us in the game. Our defense, we're relying heavily on our defense. We hope that our offense can stay on the field as much as possible, moving the chains, so that our defense don't have to be on the field for 80, 90 plays during the game. So I think that'd be a big deal. Is if our offense is able to continue to move the chain, to get into position for us to put ourselves in position to score, that helps our defense as well. Keep them on the sideline so that when they do get called on, especially down in the trenches, that they're not just exhausted from being out on a long drive every time.
And speaking of that defense, how huge is it to get back the leading returning tackler, Tayshawn Gaither, at the linebacker position for his grad season? And who are some other players who will probably need to step up, take some pressure off him and lessen the burden, I guess?
Yeah. Gaither he's phenomenal. I mean, he's a go-getter, man. I mean, he's after it, and he puts forth his effort. He's in on a lot of the plays, whether it's a solo tackle or assisted tackle. He's always around the ball, and another young man that should be able to step up this year and help out is Mackenzie Howard, another impact player for us on defense. And I mentioned Adrian Huey earlier. So yeah, we got our defense is set up for us to take advantage of their speed and their strength as well. We got some good cover guys, that can get out there and do a breakup or whatever we might need to get to. But our defensive line, they've got some guys up there that's got a little bit of size to them. So hopefully we can put a wall up, and contain the run as best as possible, and then rely on our defensive unit, to cover the other areas of the field, so that if we can get a couple of early takeaways, or of course we always want to win the turnover ratio. If we can happen to get a turnover or two and take advantage of that, I think that will play big as well. And give our teams a chance to put points on the board.
Absolutely. We're looking forward to it. And I'm glad that we can finally have this game, because I know there were some talks of playing one another back in 2022. I'm not sure what happened with that, but there definitely were some discussions, and there'll be a couple of people returning to Jackson, a mini family reunion, if you will. Your athletics director, I still say Coach Burrows, Derek Burrows, former Jackson State defensive coordinator under Coach Harold Jackson a few years ago. And then
Right.
your offensive line coach, Swinney, He's from Jackson, and he played at Jackson State under Coach Comagee. So I know they're both looking forward to getting back to Jackson and probably seeing a few familiar faces. And we hope that your fan base travels. It's a short 4-hour drive, so I know they're excited for some football. So hopefully they'll get on the road. We're expecting some great football weather, so we look forward to a really, really nice atmosphere this Saturday.
Absolutely, yeah. We early anticipation is we've got some hopefully some fan buses that'll be making the trip with some of our student groups, that we can bring down. We're hoping for a good showing from our alumni and our fans. We want to give as much support for the Dragon Takeover on everything that we do, on every home game and road game. Looking forward to just putting the excitement in the air with great weather, great opportunities.
Great weather.
So this is going to be a good weekend for everybody to make that trip and support the Dragons as they've always done. Anybody out there that is needing information on how to get tickets or how to get on the buses, we have that, I believe, on our athletic website, golcdragons.com. And we'd love to see everybody there, everybody that we can. This is going to be a exciting team, hopefully. And the more that our fans show up and yell and support our program, the better our guys likes it.
Absolutely. Well, Dragon fans, we have plenty of room, so make sure you get on the road. We have a 60,000 seat stadium, so come help us fill it up. As you stated, Roger, great weather. All the rain is passing through Jackson on Thursday, so that'll be out of the way. So great football weather. And if you can't make it, this game will be televised on the SWAC Digital Network. That's on YouTube. But again, we hope to see you in the stands. Great tailgating prior to the game. Just a great football atmosphere at the Vet. So looking forward to it. Roger, I truly appreciate you for doing this. Thank you for coming on the show, and we look forward to a really exciting matchup. Jackson State versus the Lane College Dragons this Saturday, 6 o'clock.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate your time and the invitation to join your show. Look forward to continuing our relationship in the future, and we're gonna come up, show up on game day, and keep showing up until we get it right.
There you go. There you go. I love it. All right, ladies and gentlemen, he is the associate AD and the PA announcer for Lane College, Mr. Roger Ogden. All right, thanks a lot.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate you.
Tiger Talk TV is presented by Bet Online.